Are you a motherless daughter? What if we told you we have 20 years worth of truth treasures, pearls of wisdom, and diamonds of hope to help you with your mother loss? We do, and we share all things mother loss on Nurturing Words, Voices of Experience, a podcast by the Motherless Daughters Ministry. Give yourself some self-care and listen as we discuss grief, regret, anger, redemption, closure, and so much more.
Hello, I'm Gladys Bell, your host for today. In this episode, The Stories My Mom Shared with Me, we hear the story of one of our blog writers, Julie Thompson. In our episode, Julie shares her story of how she carries on her mother's legacy by sharing something with others that her mother shared with her. It can be hard to deal with the lack of our mother's presence in our lives, but finding ways to keep her memory alive or share what was important to her with others around us can be a source of comfort. Let's listen to Julie's story and perhaps be inspired about ways we can continue our mother's traditions as well with our family and others. My mom retired after 35 years of being an elementary teacher. As she was ending her teaching career, I was beginning mine. I loved sharing teaching stories with my mom. She could relate to what I was going through, and on those really tough days and weeks, I always felt better after talking with my mom. Unfortunately, a few years after my mom retired, she passed away. I expected holidays and birthdays to be hard without her. What caught me by surprise, though, is how much I missed her as I drove to school. And at the beginning of each new school year, waves of grief would roll in and out. Now I anticipate the waves, and instead of them overtaking me, I ride them out. As I drive to school each day, I welcome the childhood memories that come to mind. Memories of sitting with my mom on the couch at night and helping her grade papers. Memories of watching her write and revise her lesson plans. Memories of helping my mom in her classroom. Now, my evenings often involve schoolwork, such as checking papers and reviewing my lesson plans for the following day. But my mom is no longer sitting on the couch next to me. Even though we can no longer bond over our teaching experiences, I have found a way to keep my mom's memory alive in my classroom. When my mom retired, she gave me the books from her classroom library. At the time, I was so thankful, mainly because she saved me a lot of money. Creating a classroom library is expensive. After she passed away, though, these books became even more valuable to me. Whenever I come across a book in my classroom with my mom's name written on the inside or back cover, I smile. Seeing her handwriting brings me comfort. I love that my students are reading and enjoying some of the same books that were in my mom's classroom. In this small way, my mom still gets to be part of my classroom. And one day, I hope to give my classroom library to a new teacher. Books are meant to be shared. Great stories are timeless. I'm so thankful for the stories my mom shared with me. Now we're going to take a moment and share with you something we're really excited about. The Journey Retreat, Healing the Wounds of Mother Loss One Step at a Time, is a residential retreat focusing on mother loss and its effect on your life, how her emotional and physical absence shapes your identity, influences your style of mothering and relationships, how your grief surfaces throughout your lifetime, and how you experience living beyond your mother's final years. This weekend could literally change your life. Are you ready? Mark your calendar. The next retreat is coming April 26th through the 29th, 2024. Space is limited, so secure your spot early. Learn more on our Facebook page or on our website at motherlessdaughtersministry.com. We look forward to meeting you in April. Now, before we go, we're going to hear some personal reflections on this story from our podcast administrator, Sarah Lynn Wells.
The first time I read this blog post, I really connected with Julie's story. My mother was also a teacher, and children's literature was a passion of hers. She passed away unexpectedly while still teaching. When we cleaned out her classroom, she had hundreds and hundreds of books. We shared a few with her coworkers, donated some to a library, shared with other teachers we knew, and my sister and I each kept some. My oldest was an infant when my mom died, so my kids never knew her. Reading them books with her name on it was a special way to feel like they are connected to her. I can just picture her reading to them and loving how much they enjoy books. It's bittersweet, but it helps me feel I'm continuing her legacy and keeping her memory alive. Perhaps some of you can relate, having small children who never met their grandma. I struggle at times to help them feel connected, especially little ones who may not always be interested in looking through pictures or listening to stories. Something concrete makes a bit more sense to them. It can be hard to keep their memory alive, but it's important to find ways to connect. Perhaps it's making and passing on a favorite recipe, listening to a favorite song, or teaching your kids a special skill or activity your mom enjoyed. An important part, for me, of continuing to keep her memory alive is also spending time with others who knew her well. Seeing how they carry her memory with them and hearing them share stories can be such a blessing. At times, it can feel easier just to stuff down the pain of our grief, but I have found it so helpful to talk to others about her. A little while after my mom died, my sister was talking with a friend about our mom and experienced such a blessing. My mother had lost her own mother when my sister and I were little. In many ways, our experiences were so similar. After her death, I remember thinking how I wish I had talked to her more about her experiences of losing her mother. It's just not something we ever really talked about. But when my sister's friend had lost her own mother, my mom wrote a few letters to my sister's friend, sharing her experiences and encouragement. My sister's friends shared those with her sister and with me. I was literally holding words from my mother that I so desperately wanted to hear. It definitely felt like an unexpected blessing from God. My mother was a prayer warrior and encourager to others around her. That experience inspired me to keep her memory alive by continuing her spirit and legacy of encouragement. It's a big part of why I got involved with Motherless Daughters Ministry. I pray you are able to find peace and hope by keeping your mother's memory alive, either through connecting with others who knew her or through carrying on traditions with others around you, maybe even your own children. Whether it's something big or just a small, simple gesture, may it be something that blesses you and others around you.
Thank you for joining us here at Motherless Daughters Ministry. If you need more nurturing words, we encourage you to have a listen to other episodes of this podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe or follow button so you can join us again next time.